So let's talk about this problem. 43rd, the possible integral values of m such that equation 2m minus 1 into x square minus m square minus m plus 12 into x plus 6m is equal to 0 has either one repeated or two distinct integral roots 0, 3, minus 2 and 4. So what we can do, we can just first of all check for m is equal to 1 say. So if we talk about m is equal to 1, this is 0, we have this as, we have minus of 12x and this is 6 which is equal to 0, fine. Now x is going to be how much? This is going to be half. Non-integral roots, so that is not a possibility we have, okay, because it has been given integral roots. Let me, factorize this whole equation. So what we have? We have been given twice of m minus 1 into x square. This is minus of, this is m square minus m plus 12 times x plus 6m, right? This is what we have and this is equal to 0, right? Now what we can do, we can just, let's see if we can just factorize this part. Okay, let's see. We have 2m minus 1 into x square. Then we have m minus 1 into m times x. Then we have minus of 12x plus 6m. Can you see that? This is what we have, right? Then we take this two values from here, m minus 1 into x can be taken common. So we are left out with twice of x. This is m we have, right? Similarly, here also we have the same thing. We have 6 here and we have twice of x minus m which is equal to 0, right? This is what we have. Now, if we talk about this one, this is m minus 1x, right? This is m minus 1x minus of 6, then we have 2x minus m. So this is going to be equal to 0. This is what we have, you see. So this is x is going to be how much? 6 upon m minus 1, right? And also we have x is equal to m by 2. So there are two cases, okay. So if I talk about 6 upon m minus 1, m minus 1 must divide 6. And also x is equal to m by 2, we can take the even integers here, okay. So that means if you see here, the values being, the mention here, so that means if I talk about the first part, m is equal to 0, both the conditions are going to be satisfied. So if m is equal to 0, we have minus 6, 0 is fine. Then we have 3 minus 1, 3 by 2, so both the conditions, both are not satisfied, so we can't take. So this is okay, this is not, right? If I take minus 2, yes, it is going to be even integer, that's fine. 4 also can be taken. So that means the first, third and the fourth one, these options are the correct one, right? Need to be very careful in doing all the problems based on more than one correct answer, right? Now let's talk about this particular problem. This is question number 44. Let f n comma r, you see here we have been given n and r, be the arithmetic mean of the minima of r element subset of a set 1 to n. Then which of the following is or are correct? So it is again more than one correct answers are. And f 100 comma 20 is 5, 80 comma 26 is 3, we have f 39 comma 19 which is 13 by 6, so f 54 comma 10 is going to be 5, right? So friends, what we are going to do here is, let us understand the problem first of all, that what we need to find out. Let f n comma r be the arithmetic mean of the minima of r element subsets. That means out of n elements, we will take r elements and we have to create the subset of those set, I mean all r element subsets. So if we take r elements, we have to create subsets of those r elements. Then which of the following is or are correct? So, for that, you know, f n comma r, we have a formula for the same, right. What do we have? We have n plus 1 divided by r plus 1. This is the arithmetic mean of the minima of r element subsets of this set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to n, right. So, what we can do, we can just check, you know, the calculation can be taken care of in this case. This is 100 comma, we have 20, right. Then we have 100 comma 20. This is going to be what? 101 upon 21. So, the first one is not. What about the second one? 80 plus 1 upon 20. This is going to be 3. Yes, this is right. This is wrong, and this is going to be right, friends. Got it? Fine. Let me go to the next one. We have 45th question. This is a big question based on coordinate geometry, where you have been given the concept of tangent being used and the equation of common tangent being used. So, let's look at the problem. Let's understand the problem and see if we can solve it, right. First of all, let's draw the diagram, right. So, let's understand the diagram first. If we talk about the diagram here, you have been given the curve. First of all, let's talk about the curve here. See how this is the curve I am talking about, right. This is the origin part. X square minus 3 is equal to y, or x square is equal to y plus 3 we can write, isn't it. So, that means we are talking about something like this parabola, isn't it. This is what we are talking about, and we have a tangent which is there, right. So, what we can do, we can just drop a tangent, right. This is the tangent I am talking about, isn't it. Okay. So, what is P in this case? 2 comma 1. So, first of all, let's find the equation of the tangent in this case, which is you know, we are having x square minus y is equal to 3. That means, if we just differentiate, we get 2x minus y dash is equal to 0. So, y dash is going to be twice of x, and what is the slope of the tangent in this case at p 2 comma 1? This is going to be 4. The slope is 4. Now, the point is known to us, which is nothing but we have y minus of 1, and this is 4, this is x minus 2, right. This is what we have. So, that means we have y is equal to 4x, then we have minus 8 plus 1, this is minus 7. So, y is equal to 4x minus 7. So, we will start with the solution. So, this is the part. Q and R be the 2 points such that PQ and PR is equal to 2 root 17. So, P is a point. Okay, let me just take it in this way. P is a point, and we have Q, say we have R, right. This is what we have, and it has been given 2 root 17, right. Then we have 2 root 17. This is what has been given to us. We have found out as a tangent to this 2 circles also, right. And it has been given that the coordinates of Q, so obviously coordinates of Q are positive and C1, C2. That means we are talking about C1 here, right. We are talking about C2, and the origin, they are on the same side of the tangent. Now, since these 2 circles been given to us, and the interesting part is the root 17 is the radius, then we have root 17 as the radius, right. If we talk about this distance and this distance is going to be same. So, if we have 2 root 17, 2 root 17, root 17, root 17 been given to you. So, what we can do, we can just see C1, C2 is always going to be how much? This is going to be 4 root 17. Okay, this is what we have. Now, if we take some x comma y or x1, y1, x2, y2, whatever, and we come out with the calculation part here. So, here the simplification part, that C1 and C2, if we talk about the C1 here, this is going to be 0 comma 10, right. And if we talk about C2, C2 is going to be minus 4 comma minus 6 beta. Okay. this is how it works. Fine. Now there are two things. One is first option seems to be the correct one, because the length of between the C1 and C2 is going to be the length of the common tangent we have. And the secondly, we have found out C1 and C2 can be found out, and also equation of the common tangent of S1 and S2, because both the circle, this is S1, this is S1 and this is S2. So the common tangent, if we talk about, this is always going to be, we are having 4x minus y minus 7, that is the same tangent which is a tangent to the parabola at the point P. So this option is also correct. This is wrong, right? And also we know what is C1 and C2. So here the centroid of PC1 C2 can be found out. We know what is P. So when you talk about the centroid, that is going to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. So if you just use the centroid here, concept of centroid, the coordinate part, you will get the answer to be this, right? So the final answer is going to be A, B, D. Okay. So hopefully this is clear to you.